talk about innovators in a very interesting ad.
Okay, before moving on to the advertisement, I'd like to ask some of you all of you that how many of you all have heard about Microsoft's product launched by Microsoft called Microsoft Surface? Could you raise your hand, please? Only one. Okay, so it's a very few people, so 2-3 people. Then let's go get on to the advertisement and see what it is.
The possibilities seem endless as the line between the virtual world and the physical world becomes increasingly thin. Turning friends on to new music will one day be done with the greatest of ease. And it will happen on a table that lets us share our photos with the flick of a wrist. In the future, our phones will help us make plans for the evening. And then guide us on our way to the show. And at the end of the day, Microsoft Surface will be the cashier. The one who doesn't mind splitting the bill 5 different ways on a busy Friday night. It will be that easy. Living in this new world of ours will happen in a way that isn't new at all. Everybody in.
Okay, so as you can see from the advertisement, it says that this is not a product meant for the masses. This is a completely different, super computer launched by Microsoft, and you can say that what we usually see in sci-fi movie, high-tech technology. This is something that they have launched for these kind of people, the innovators, the successful people who are always ahead of their times, who always think that who always want to be associated with the latest technology, which is also ahead of others. So this is launched by Microsoft. They also launched a second version of this in 2011, just a few months back, and it's for these kind of people. Next slide. The believers, they are now come on to the people with the people with the lower resources. Before the categories that came before were the people with the higher resources, the experiences and the innovators and all those. Now we come to the lower resources market segment. Believers, they are conservative, conventional, and traditional people with concrete beliefs. They prefer Indian-made products. So now we'll give an example of Bisleri. Bisleri was launched by Parle Agro quite a few years back, and it was launched along with an Italian company. So hence the name Bisleri. After the success of Bisleri, Parle had bought back Bisleri to their own, and now people, the Bisleri is almost synonymous with pure bottled water, pure drinking water. So people like Bisleri is a clear leader in the segment in the market. Even after the onslaught of Aquafina and Kinley and all, the Bisleri is still the leader. The strivers, these are the people who are trendy, fun-loving people. They like to stay in touch with the latest in fashion. They want to emulate people who have purchased, emulate those who have greater material, but they are resource constrained. So for them, there was a market over here who wanted to, get on with, be in touch with fashion and everything, but there was no product available for them. So here comes Behavioral, and it launched. It was the first company to bring fashion to the street. The first tutorial, you can say, which brought the fashionized products for people of all segments, and especially for those who strivers who couldn't afford the high. And fashion is a word which is always associated with high class people. And so Behavioral launched, and it had launched clothing first, and then it went into accessories and furniture, then pens and everything. Makers, they are the practical, down to earth, self-sufficient people. You can take an example of Amul, which is a movement started by in Gujarat, and its full form is Anand Milk Producing Union Limited. And these people seek Indian-made products with a practical approach to the purpose. Amul is clearly the leader in its market, as we all know, and also other products by Amul, the milk and milk products by Amul, are also the leader in the market. Survivors, Bata, sir has talked about this example a number of times by he told us what do our grandfathers and the elderly people look for when they go to purchase footwear? They always ask for Bata. So Bata is something which is associated with elderly and passive people usually, and concerned about change, and they are always loyal to the favorite brands. Behavioral segmentation. This is the most important way to profile a customer, because this to divide the market into segments, because this is relates with the customer and consumer directly. It talks about it's related with the usage of the product, how much the consumer uses the product, knows about the product, knowledge about the product, how much the consumer has awareness of the product, and so it is important. And we go on to see what usage. Okay, customers can be segmented on the basis of usage status. There are heavy users, light users, and non-users of the product. This profiling allows the people to receive, allows the group to receive most marketing attention to the heavy users. The heavy, and I'd like to take an example of Reliance over there as it's given. I'm sure that almost all of us would be tired of continuous promotional offers offered by the telecom service providers back home. See, and the offers like buy caller and you get free caller tunes for 1 month, just pay rupees 30, and then recharge rupees 49 and you get full 49 talk time, and such on endless offers. But this was a real problem a few years back. But what Reliance did was, they did a market survey. They went and checked in their system. They did research and they found that there are some group of people who use internet on a larger basis, and they introduced promotional offers for these people. They introduced GPRS services packs, special packs, which provide GPRS services for these people. They introduced services like free STD and local call for some people. The segment who used to call use it as more. And another example I'd like to take over here is the beer industry. The Heineken, a beer brand, conducted a market survey some years back, and it found that 80% user status. Every product has its non-users, ex-users, potential users, first users, and regular users. British Airways found that its users were divided, mostly the regular users loyal to them, but what they wanted to convert the potential users and the non-users into their category. And after doing some market research, they found that the non-users and the potential users were looking especially for service, good in-flight service when looking for airlines. So they introduced this commercial that I like to show you.
Okay, Pam, would you like to try the on-board announcement? Can I? What's your plan? Where are we flying to again? Rome, Pam. We're flying to Rome.
Ciao, bellissimo, venne, ripeterci dove siamo passati a Gatwick.
Okay, thank you. I'll take you from here, thank you.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's Pam's first day today. Excuse, signor e signorina.
Here clearly see the quality of service that they provide. This is how they distinguish themselves from the others. Now we can move on to attitude. Attitude is defined as a learned tendency to respond towards something. I mean, attitude is, you can see attitude is an outcome of perception. I mean, people develop perceptions about a product. Different perceptions about a product that leads to development of an attitude. It may range from enthusiastic, positive, indifferent, negative, or hostile. Here I like to take an example of political campaigns. What politicians do, they go door to door and thank those who are enthusiastic for them, they're supportive for them, and encourage the positive people and try to encourage the indifferent people also, and leave behind the negative and hostile people. For the next part, I'd like to call upon Abbas.